Hey gang, Optimus Prime back at it again with the first video of the new year 2025. And I figured this is a prime time, pun intended, to review the Transformers 1 Studio Series Deluxe Class number 112, Optimus Prime. Before we get into this video review, I have to give 3 shoutouts. One to my buddy Nick over on Instagram. As always, gotta give a shout out to my man Nick. He does a lot of photo shoots and has got a bunch of wonderful toys last year that he's wanting to do photo shoots over this year. So how about you go over on Instagram where he is located to check out all of his photo shoots. I will leave a link in the description down below for my buddy Nick over on Instagram. Next up, I gotta give another shout out to my buddy Achilles Vale for helping me out last year a couple of times by grabbing me a couple of Transformers, some of which I haven't done a review over yet. I will leave a link down to his YouTube channel down in the description below. Without further ado, let us now get into the video review. Now, one more thing before we get into the video review for this guy right here. My third and final shout out is to all of y'all people who subscribed to me last year. That it was such a wonderful thing to have all y'all people subscribe to me. I didn't ask, but thank y'all. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, y'all are driving me to create more of these wonderful and weirdly goofy videos. So, without further ado, now we can roll into the video. Alrighty, so now let us take a closer look at Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Optimus Prime, and as you can see here, it has a nice, lovely shade of red all over the top part of his torso. It has this weird yellowish gray on him, and it's same for the paint here for the legs and the waist region. But moving on down below, here we have a nice blue that is actually popping up on the camera here, but in real time, this is actually a much darker blue than what the camera is presenting. But I love how the light just reflects off of this and then into the camera. It's like a more metallic blue. I love how that turned out. Anyways, here he is from the back. Here he is from the front. And then here is his head sculpt. And as we can see here, he's got a nice shade of blue for the eyes and nice gray paint there for the face. And I really love how they did the head here. I think it's wonderfully accurate to the robot mode. To the robot mode that we had in the movie. Now, I do have my one qualm with this, but we will get to that here in a second. After I point out, this is a fairly large deluxe class. Like, we're gonna move him over here for a second, which isn't very much. But here he is with Cannonball from the Walmart exclusive Star Raiders line. Here he is also with Shadow Striker, Hurrah, and then here he is with Bumblebee right in front of him. So yeah, he's a fairly large deluxe class, and I think what is really good. Now, here comes my qualm with this toy. I really wish that he was done as a Voyager. Same thing with the Deluxe Class Megatron, which I'm currently trying to get my hands on, along with the Sentinel Prime that's coming out this year as of today, and then the same thing with Bumblebee and the Elita 1 from the Transformers 1 movie, from the Studio Series line. That is my one major complaint with this toy. I wish he was bigger. I wish he was at a Voyager class price point. But, with that being said, this was also brought up in the Transformers Slag podcast video of his top 5 Transformers of the year with Jaws D, and then he wonderfully pointed out that this Optimus Prime was the first ever Deluxe Class Optimus Prime that had a removable matrix. And then I sat there and thought for a second, he dang sure right on this. This is the first Deluxe Class Optimus that we've ever had with a removable matrix. Now, with all of that, let me move these guys out of the way and let's talk about that wonderfully glorious matrix that he has. So moving on to the chest here, all we gotta do to talk about his glorious matrix is move his arms out of the way so that way we can open this torso up all the way, and then there is his matrix, beautifully detailed, and all we gotta do is just move it out of here, and then moving him off to the side here. Here we have his glorious, glorious matrix, and it's really making my nails look really big, and they're really not, quite honestly. Like, so pulling his matrix out of the chest here, it is looking really, really detailed, and has some nubs on the side for some really special things he can do, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Yes, it is a bit hollow and is really nicely detailed on the end there, on the inside there, I should say. This toy really makes me happy. That's why I can't really speak right. Same thing with the Transmetal 2 Megatron. That's why I was stuttering in that video. He was just really all too good. That's why I was stuttering. But yeah, this matrix is really well done and is actually very tiny. Now moving back on to the figure itself. Alrighty, so moving right along here, the only accessory he does technically come with is his Energon X, which is honestly fairly accurate to what we got in the movie. Though I really wish this was the golden color with the blue axe hue for the blade. Or actually, do not kill me in the comments. Blue Energon hue for the axe blades here and here on both sides. I wish the rest of this would have been a yellow color. That would have been really cool for this, but I don't really mind the blue here. Now he can wield this in both either one of his hands. I'm not going to show this off here because there's plenty of other YouTubers out there that have already done all of that. And if you want to count this as an accessory, I don't want to, because this piece of doohonky does not want to stay in where it needs to go. Back here, it just stays tabbed in right there and right there. Ah, I keep hitting my camera with these two cutouts. Right there and right there. It just plugs in like so, but the problem is my copy does not like to keep it in, so it'll just... Oh, what? Really? There it goes. There it goes. It just does not want to stay in, so... Yeah. That's another one of my minor nitpicks with this toy. Not really a qualm I have with it. Moving on. Let us get into the vehicle mode now. Actually, quick interjection. Man, this video is gonna like really suck. Before we get into his vehicle mode, how about let's talk about his posability here. So, bringing him closer up to the camera here, he has a ball joint at the head here, which can give him all sorts of range of movements. He can look up really, really high, which I feel like could have been used for Cybertron Starscream. Why did a deluxe class get a ball joint that MGO would say squirrel for, but a jet former in a Voyager scale did not get the ball joint that it deserves? Unlike Armada Starscream, it was a Voyager class that did get the ball joint it deserves. Anywho, moving on here, he does have a swivel at the shoulder, which can do a full 360. He does have an inward butterfly joint due to transformation. He also has an outward movement at the shoulder, which I don't like these kind of shoulders, but you know what? I could forgive it. He also has a bicep rotation at the elbow here. He also has a 90-degree elbow bend. He also features a really good wrist swivel, which leads into a thing he can do later. He does have a really good waist rotation, which can go a full 360, which is funny how offset this is, but it still looks kind of natural if you think about it. He does have a movable crotch skirt, which allows him to kick up that far, and he can kick back that far. He can also spring his legs out pretty far. He can do an almost full split and kick up his crotch skirt a little bit. Come on, camera, focus. Thank you. He also has a ball joint at the hip, which you can use for rotating a little bit. He has a knee rotation, which is fine. I would have much rather that be a thigh swivel, but he has a knee swivel. He also has little over 90 degrees of bend there at the knee, and at the foot he has toe down and ankle tilt. But the toe down is more for transformation, so there you go. That is all of this dude's articulation. Now we can actually move on to the truck mode. Actually, one more thing. His smokestacks can turn due to transformation, which, yes, he can wield. Come on, don't fight me now. He can wield his gun. He can wield his guns. Nice. Now let's move to the transformation, shall we? Let's. Yep. Alrighty, so here is Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Transformers 1 Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode, and I gotta say, this is a very interesting take on Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode. And yeah, I really like this alt mode, although I have a qualm with this alt mode. And this seems to be a universal complaint. I wish these hands would have transformed differently. Yes, I do know that there is a DNA design kit coming out that fixes this hand transformation, and I'm thoroughly happy with that. Thoroughly okay with this. So, that out of the way. Here is Optimus from a side profile. Here he is from the front. Here he is from the top. Here he is from the back. And here he is from the bottom. And as you can see, cleans up very nice and well-like. Now, as for comparisons for vehicle mode, here we go. So here he is with Siege Springer, and then here he is with Deluxe Class Hotshot. I'll get these all lined up here, and there you go. As you can see, Optimus is clearly taller in his vehicle mode, so yeah, there we go. One more thing that this Optimus can specifically do is awkwardly hold a matrix, or his specific matrix of leadership, which the fact that he can hold it is really cool. And last but not least, here he is next to our IMGO standardized unit of measurement, or as he would put it himself, our prime standard measurement of toys. Here he is next to Earthrise Optimus Prime. Alrighty, so that about sums it up for our Transformers Studio Series 1 Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. And yeah, this is my first video of the new year. Happy New Year's, everybody. Hope 2024 was a great year for y'all, and may 2025 be better for the rest of us. And yeah, this toy is really good and really fun. I just wish, one, that he was bigger, and two, he had better shoulders. But with that out of the way, that's pretty much it. Peace out, my gang.